Who's ready to get a little bit better? Let's do it. If you're ready, say yes in the comments. Woo! Here we go. Let's get better. Let's get better. And here's a conversation I have a lot. In fact, this is probably up there on the list, maybe a top 10 conversation that I have. Whether I'm at a personal development event or it's in a mastermind or coaching. And the question that I often get is, what do I do when I feel like I've outgrown my friends? Like, I've had some of these friends my whole life. Like, they've been with me. They're my boys. These are my girls. Like, what do I do when I've outgrown my current peer group, right? So quick definition, peer group. What is a peer group? That's language that we use in this personal development world. What is a peer group? Your peer group, in simplicity, is those are the people that they have enough influence in your life that you will adjust your decision-making to stay in alignment, to stay in relationship with them. So it could be the 5 people you spend the most time with. It could be the 5 people that you're on the most FaceTimes with, or these are the people that carry influence in your life. Certainly that proximity and time piece is really important, but like, who is it that carries influence? And so when we start to feel like our peer group, start to feel like we're outgrowing them. And I get you. Hey, I've been there. I feel you, because when we start to feel that way, one of my first thoughts, I remember it well, was like, does that make me a bad person? And like, am I being judgmental because they're not growing like me, or they're not hungry like me? Like, I don't want to be judgmental. Like, am I a bad person because I feel like I kind of don't want to hang out with them as much anymore? They're kind of dragging me down a little bit. And so I remember that. And so, hey, guess what? You're not a bad person. You're growing. You're becoming the best version of yourself. And when you're growing and becoming the best version of yourself, it shines like a spotlight on mediocrity in other people's lives. And some of them, by the way, they're going to act out and like make fun of you and come against you, because literally it's not because they got something against you, but they don't want to deal with their own mediocrity. Well, there I said it. Okay, so you're going to start to feel that way. You're not a bad person. You're just growing. And so there's going to be people in your circle that they make a decision to go with you, and there's going to be other people who they're going to make a decision to stay right where they're at, or they're going to backtrack because they're going to react to like, whoa, he thinks she's all that, or she thinks she's all that. Like, okay, so people are going to make their own decisions, but what do? What's the decision you need to make if you feel like you are outgrowing your peer group? Because you're an awesome person, way to grow, way to do the work. What's the decision you need to make? I think I recently talked about these 5 decisions in a recent video, but decision number 3 in the 5 decisions that I talk about and I teach about, that's literally my entire framework for coaching. Life does not have to be complicated. If you make these 5 decisions consistently, progressively, over time, your life will be drastically, radically transformed. You won't just be transformed for a moment. You will experience sustainable, lasting change in your life. 5 decisions. I'm just going to talk about the 3rd one. Number 3 is you make a decision to pursue proximity and invite accountability. Pursue proximity to level up your peer group, right? To get around the right people, the people that make you better, the people that draw out the greatness on the inside of you. They call you out on your crap excuses, and they make you want to be a better person. They make you level up to the full potential that's on the inside of you. And so you've got to make a decision to not settle for what always has been and begin to pursue proximity around the right people, around the people that are going where you're going. Right? They understand the growth mindset. And so you got to make some decisions around that, like pursue proximity and invite accountability. So I'll tell you this, some of those friends that you feel like you're outgrowing, if you try and hold them accountable, they're going to get mad, they're going to bristle, they're going to back off, they're going to go the other direction. You're going to be like, what did I do? Well, it's because people that are living in mediocrity do not want to be held accountable. Let me say that again, because that was good enough. People who are living in mediocrity do not want to be held accountable. So if you try to bring some of that in their life, they're not going to want any of that. Like, they're just not going to want any of it, right? So you've got to understand who you're around. And so for you, you've got to make the decision, I'm going to pursue proximity around the right people. and I'm going to invite accountability. When you get around people that are achieving at a high level, they don't bristle at accountability. They say, bring it on, baby. Push me. Call out that greatness that is on the inside of me. Because like when you hold me accountable and when you hold me accountable to my own decision to make myself better, I get to become the best version of myself. So if I can break this down to make it a little practical, let me talk about 3 things you can do if you feel like you've outgrown your friends. 1, you're a good person, okay? Like you're awesome. Don't back up on your growth because other people don't like it. Okay. I feel like I just keep coming back to that because some of you are really, really good people, but you're going to you can't allow other people's mediocrity to keep you playing small, to allow you to live at a level lower than what you were destined for. You've got to be willing to take the bold steps. And so 3 things that I would encourage you with, like practical steps in this. So if you feel like you're outgrowing your friends, number 1, take some friends with you. Like, don't just like, okay, I feel like I'm outgrowing my friends. Okay, bye-bye, and like move on. Like take some friends with you. If you're going up, that's awesome. But don't go up alone. Like that whole it's lonely at the top, screw that, okay? Take some people with you. In fact, pick the people you love the most, the people you enjoy being around the most, maybe the people that make you laugh, the people make you feel loved and known and valued. Like, who are those people? And if you can, be intentional about taking them with you. Now that's a little tricky, easier said than done, because how do you take those people with you? Well, it's not going to be by saying, hey, like friend, I love you. Could you start reading this book and could you go to this event? And if you do those things, then we can still be friends. Yeah, that's not going to work out too much for you. In my experience, what I have learned is the most effective strategy. If you don't want to leave them behind and you want to take them with you, 2 things. Number 1, live your own transformation. Like, become that best version of yourself. I hope in the best version of you, that means that you get better at loving people and listening to people and encouraging people and not talking about yourself so much, but talking about them and caring about them and maybe help solve some problems in their life when they invite you into that. Live the transformation. Like, be that better version. Like, live into healthier relationships. Live into healthier in your finances and abundance and prosperity. Live into making an impact. Live into joy and fulfillment. And if you're still in relationship with those people and they see your life just got a whole lot better, they might want some of what you have. But not if you go pointing a finger and preaching and telling them what's wrong with them and telling them how they need to change and telling them how, man, you just need to get it. Or worse yet, you just don't get it, man. You just don't get it. If you're saying that to them, 1, I don't think you've grown as much as you think you have. And 2, they're definitely not going to come with you. Like, be the beautiful example of growth and transformation that you want them to come into, okay? So first strategy, be the example, live your own transformation. And then if you do that well, then you get the second strategy as an option, which is invite them on the journey. Then there's no pressure. Then there's no arm twisting. There's no manipulation of like, man, I want to be your friend, but like you just suck. Like you're not growing. Like you won't go to an event. You won't read a book. Like, no. Like if you live it to the degree you need to live it, then they're going to want to be a part of it. And then it's just like with open arms, you get to invite them on the journey. Okay? So don't try to manipulate and cajole and guilt and shame people into growth. It's never worked ever in the history of ever. Okay? So live your own transformation, and then you'll get the option to invite them on the journey. Take some friends with you. If you feel like you're outgrowing them, get intentional and take them with you. Number 2, because you're going to want to take them with you, and not all of them are going to come. Number 2, get some new friends. You're going to have to get some new friends. You're going to have to level up your peer group, okay? You're going to have to look around you in your life and say, who is it that I have access to that I need to get around more? Who is it that I can reach up to? They're where I want to be, and I could lean into that and grow and learn, or maybe be mentored by them. And so you're going to need to get some new friends. I'll never forget one of my affirmations, because there was a season in my life when I looked around and I felt lonely, and I felt like nobody gets me. I just felt this isolation. I was hungry and I was growing and life was getting better, but I felt like everybody was looking at me like had three heads. And like for most, if you know, I've been a pastor for 25 years, right? And so like when I started going down this personal development and business and growth and entrepreneurship, there weren't as many people. Like if I was talking about the Bible and Jesus, that like, oh, I got lots of people to talk about that with. But when I started growing in different ways and avail myself to other tools and resources, like it got a little lonely for a season there. And I'll never forget, I put an affirmation in my daily affirmations, which you should totally do. But the affirmation was, I'm surrounded by people who celebrate my abundance and encourage me to pursue my destiny. I'll say it again, because some of you might need to just steal it straight up and just put it in your own affirmations. I'm surrounded by people who celebrate my abundance and encourage me to pursue my destiny. And I didn't have that, and now I do. Man, I have so many of those people in my life, deep friendships, people who love me and celebrate me and are cheering me on. Like, I feel like I got Raven fans all around me cheering me on, and I'm cheering them on. It's not like they're like people are standing right beside me saying, let's go. Like, there's so many people in my life. And so listen, don't be discouraged. If you feel like you're outgrowing your friends, take some with you, get some new friends. And if you feel like they're not there, start speaking that into existence. If you're praying, pray a prayer, pray them into your life. I did a whole lot of that too. But begin to pursue some new friendships, some new connections, and they are around you more than you realize. Some of them, they're just 1 degree of separation away. You know someone that are going to introduce you to someone. It's going to an event. It's putting yourself in new environments. It is, instead of going to going to McDonald's, you're going to go to like the high-end like little shopping area where you don't go to that much because that's where the rich people go. And like there's Mercedes and like you felt out uncomfortable. You want to start going over there and getting coffee like you own the joint. You're going to park your Toyota Corolla around the corner and then you're going to walk over and you're going to like own it. And like you're just going to start conversations with people. You're going to make some new friends. Yes, you can be that intentional, putting yourselves in the right environments, getting the introduction, be super, super intentional and say, hey, I'm going to get some new friends. So number 1, take some friends with you. Number 2, get some new friends. Number 3, here's the big kahuna. Because some of you are like, I don't see nobody. You know what you're going to do? You're going to pay for some new friends. Now, I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek on that, but I'm kind of serious because you may need to make an investment to put yourself in a new sphere. Join a mastermind, join a coaching group, paid, like I mentioned, going to events, but I'm talking more of like, hey, put yourself in an environment where you're going to consistently rub shoulders with people and have opportunity for friendships to begin. Listen, I run masterminds for a living. I have a community that I run for a living. And can I tell you what's happened? Some of the dearest friends in my life, they are paying clients of mine because we become friends. I took my son on his 13th birthday trip last year, and one of my dear friends who lived in the same town went with us to go deep sea fishing and went out to dinner. And he's a dear friend, almost a mentor to me in some way. And like, how did that, like, because like he made an investment and like now it's like reciprocal and we're both great friends, right? So many people, like I've paid to put myself in environments to create the opportunity, because some of you don't like that paying for friends thing. I'll never forget, I had a one-on-one client and his wife used to make fun of him. He's like, go get on your call with your paid for friend. Like you're paid for a friend. And that was early on. And now she's like, would you please go get on the call with him? Like, because like deep transformation, lasting transformation, right? So it's no joke anymore. Like, but by the way, he and I, like deep friendship. Like I could call him any day and he'd show up. And in whatever way I needed him, he'd show up. And I'd do the same for him. So like some of you are hung up on this financial investment thing. And you're like, I don't want to pay for friends. I love you. Get over it, okay? Pay to put yourself in an environment where friendships can begin to blossom. where you can connect with people that are at a higher level, that are where you want to go, or they're at the same level and they're going hard after it. Pay to put yourself in an environment so you can get some friendships. If you don't know where to start, you probably should just start with me and message me, okay? Just drop me a DM and say, I'm ready to pay for some friends. And where do I start, Mark? And I will tell you, we've got masterminds, we've got a coaching community like that is going next level in 2022. So you just might want to start with a DM and say, like, do it because it'll make me smile if you DM me and say, I'm ready to pay for friends. And then we will get you you're paying for an environment where friendships can blossom. I don't guarantee best friends, like, I can't guarantee that, but I'm telling you, it's happened in some pretty spectacular ways in my experience over the last 5 years of building this business and building this community. It's a whole lot of fun. So if you feel like you're outgrowing your friends, stop complaining about it. Stop moaning and groaning. Stop being like, nobody gets me. And take some action. Take some friends with you. Begin to live that transformation. Get some new friends. Be intentional. Put yourself in new environments. Go after it. Pursue it. Get around the people. And then number 3, pay for some friends. Pay for some new friends, some environments, so you can create some friends. Woo! Listen, guys, if you level up your peer group this year, your life will never be the same. I'm a living, walking, talking testimony that when I leveled up my peer group, everything in my life began to shift, and the same thing can happen for you. It's just a principle of the universe. We go further, faster together with the right people. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Your life will be the direct reflection of the expectation of your peer group. It is a principle of the universe. And when you begin to operate in that, your life is going to go up. It's going to go up. And if you've been waiting for like things to drop out of heaven, okay, it's time to get intentional and do the work yourself. So I love you. I'm curious, which one of these 3 points, take your friends with you, get some new friends, or pay for some friends, which one of those points are you going to take action on this week? Like maybe even today, right now, writing down, making a list, who are the friendships I'm going to pursue? Which one are you going to take action for? Let me know in the comments so I can celebrate your decision. You are amazing. I love you all. This is where you should get off this video, go out there and give your greatness to the world because somebody needs what's on the inside of you. Go give it away. I love y'all. Have a great day.